¿Mande? ¿Banana? Ok, déjame lavar la cara, ok. Tu tortuga. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde está tu tortuguita? ¿Dónde la dejaste? Oh. There are two pieces on me. I love you. Ese pelo.
Te pele mamota. Te pele. Te amo, tatuchita.
Ah, te amo, chuchita. Qué linda. I love you. Dientes bien rápido, ¿ok? Scoop it. Más. Muy bien. Por la señal de Santa Cruz, de nuestros enemigos, Dios, nuestros Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo. Love you. Love you. Purrunes.
Uno tetón. Uno pese. Uno pese. Uno palmillo. Uno pese.
Muy bien. ¿Sería de amarillo?
Sí, ven. Uno tetón. Repite tetón.
Pinta un corazón.
Pite uno tetón.
Sí.
Sí.
Qué lindo, ¿verdad?
Sí. Pipi tatán.
Tan, tan, pin, pin.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó?
Mamá.
Mande.
¿Qué pasó, Pedro? Aquí.
¿Se cortó?
Sí, te tetón. No.
¿Listo?
Tita.
Yakult
Tatu.
y banana.
Mi mamá.
Chicken banana.
Tita. No. Tut.
Yakult.
Ta.
I love you.
I love you, Mama.
¿Dónde está Franco? Sí. Sí, mamá. Ten. Princess. Se hizo la luz. Good morning. I'm about to get ready and I want to do a little catch-up life update with you guys. So let's get started. I'm filming the podcast today, so that's what I'm getting ready for. It's currently 9 a.m. and I want to leave here by 10. So hopefully I can get this going fast. I took a month off of YouTube because I needed to regroup and I needed to basically figure my life out. As you guys know and saw, the month of May was quite possibly the craziest month of my life, and also I would say the most transformative month of my life. I started doing therapy a couple months ago, and it has been life-changing to say the least. I have always been an advocate for therapy, and I really think everyone should do it. What I will say though is that therapy is exhausting. I used to think like therapy, you would go out and come out brand new and feel so relieved and light, and that is absolutely not my experience. Thankfully, I do feel like I found a really amazing therapist. I have had such a good experience with her, but even then, therapy has been very draining for me. I feel like I've just been put back into all the things that I've swept under the rug, and that is one thing that my therapist and I discovered together, is that everything you don't address head on when it's happening, you sweep it under the rug and it ends up catching up to you later. And of course, it's due to the lack of resources I had to deal with whatever was happening, and it's just so hard to realize that everything that happens to you during your childhood ends up making a huge impact even if you don't think it does. My coping mechanism throughout my whole life has just been just pretend like nothing's happening and be la la la, hee hee ha ha, and just like skip through life, who cares. And going to therapy now, I'm like, oh, my childhood affected me so much that now in therapy I'm like revisiting everything, and it is not pretty. It is really exhausting to talk about the things that I thought I had forgotten about or healed through or dealt with in its time, and it's just not true. I just ended up sweeping everything under the rug, and I'm having to process it now at my ripe age of 27 years old, and it's not fun. Mande.
¿Por qué te estás cambiando?
Voy a ir a trabajar, mi amor.
¿Dónde?
A la oficina.
Aquí o allá.
Yeah. I need to set my under eyes before they start creasing. Now, in regards to our separation post that was posted back in, I think, towards the end of April, obviously everybody knows that marriage is hard, and my biggest fear that I have always talked about and been open about is ending up in the marriage that I grew up in. And that's literally been crippling anxiety in me, is I don't want to be in my mom's shoes. That hits really hard for me. I think it's something that I obviously have never processed, and I thought, you know what, when I get out of the house, when I create my own family, it's not going to be anything like this. And I just made it my entire life's purpose to be completely different than my parents. And I believe what changed, which all of this has been talked about in therapy, and that's why I feel comfortable talking about it now. This is why I haven't talked about it since we posted the separation post, because something that we realized is that I'm a very impulsive person and extremely hypervigilant, and I didn't know this about myself, but that's exactly why I do the things I do. And that just has a lot to do with the way I grew up and not being confident and comfortable in my own home, or feeling like I needed to fix all the adults around me to be okay. I would love to go into all of that once I feel like I've made more progress with that in therapy, because right now we're obviously tackling the big problem, which is my marriage and my life with the family that we have created. So what I do want to say is that obviously we all know that social media is a highlight reel, and influencers on social media post exactly what they want you to see, exactly how they want you to perceive them. So they could be this completely different person behind the cameras, behind the scenes, but they will film and edit themselves and cut themselves to be the person they want you to perceive them as. And all of that to say that I have unfortunately done it the wrong way, and this is all going back to becoming a mom. I feel like I didn't want to lose myself in motherhood, and I didn't like getting comments saying like, oh, you're gonna make being a mom your whole personality, and now all you're gonna do is record your kids and film your kids and upload your kids. And I didn't want that. The last thing I would ever want is someone to think that I'm exploiting my kids. And with all that noise, I decided I only wanted to create content that focused on me being a girl and getting pampered and doing my nails and going shopping and going on my girls trips. And that very easily and very fast put me in a terrible situation on this platform, because I remember, like, I have seen every single message, every comment, every Cheese My Page video, and I have read everything and have had to process that with my therapist. And it feels really hard to not come online and try to defend myself and be like, wait, but I'm not like that, because, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, my camera's trying to die on me. But yeah, after having to read all those comments and process them with my therapist and by myself, and laying in bed and just reading everything has really made me thankful for you guys, because I have finally accepted that it's true. The way that I started vlogging and recording and perceiving myself on social media made me look like this overconsumer, materialistic, only wants to go on girls trip, only wants to do whatever she wants, and it's not true necessarily. I only picked up my camera when I was gonna go get my hair done, or I was gonna do my nails, or I was gonna go shopping, or I was gonna go on a girls trip, because then that made it easy for me to not have to film my children, and for me not to have to show myself in my mother mode, or have to show my family, or have to show anything around my life that I didn't want to be judged. And unfortunately, social media is like that. They will judge whatever you post. So it made it easy for me to be like, well, if I don't post my kids that much, or if I don't post myself as a mom that much, then I'm not going to be judged for that. Because if one thing that really hurts me, I would say, is getting judged on being a mom and how I parent. And it all just started happening slowly, because people would watch my morning routines and would call everything out, like, why are you only feeding them eggs in the morning? Why are you feeding them these mini pancakes every day? So slowly I stopped uploading my morning routines. I stopped making content on being a mom and started centering it on just being myself, and going on these trips, and going to get pampered, and going shopping, and wanting to switch my room up. So I wanted to go get new bed sheets. Like, I totally understand that that is how I perceive myself on social media. So that is how you were watching me, and that is what you were calling out. Because I remember being confused all the time, like, why do they think I'm like this? Why do they think I'm an overconsumer? Why do they think that I only care about materialistic things? That is not how I feel, but that is who I was portraying to be online. That is the only person that I was showing you guys. And obviously you guys aren't seeing who I am, how I am off camera. You don't see how my life literally revolves around my kids, because I would only show you guys the day or the few hours where I was just out doing something for myself to fill my own cup. And instead of being this inspiring mom that didn't want to lose herself in motherhood, I ended up being this person that looks like she didn't want to be a mom, or that looks like she wasn't with her kids 24/7. And that totally makes sense. Like, I totally understand why I was being perceived that way. That is how I was posting myself online, and that's how I was making myself seem. And it's just been like a heavy pill to swallow that you guys are right because of what I'm posting online. Not necessarily because that's who I am, it's just who you are seeing, and that's all you have to make these conclusions. So obviously I was like, oh my god, they're right. Like, I can't even be mad because they're right. And I'm so glad that I have people like you guys to call me out and to hold me accountable. People like you that have watched me for years and saw me post my life authentically with my family and my husband. And now, after becoming a mom, I feel like there's so much pressure and so much noise to not exploit my children. But realistically, like, I don't think I ever did. I think it was just the fear. I feel like I've put so much pressure on myself to only upload things that I'm okay being judged on. So being called an overconsumer and a materialistic person, superficial, only wants to go on girls trips, wasn't necessarily hard for me to hear at the time, because I knew that wasn't who I am. I feel like it would just bounce off of me and it didn't affect me. So when I was getting called out on things like being a mom and parenting and what I fed my kids and what we did all day, that really affected me and my mental health. And so that made it so easy for me to only show the parts of my life where my kids weren't always involved. As hard as that pill was to swallow, I swallowed it, and I talked to my therapist about it, and I was like, oh my god, like, I need to figure out how to come back to my authentic, genuine self, and how to show my life authentically. And so that's something that I'm trying to work through, and to see how I can just come back to you guys, because that was my only goal, was to be relatable to all the moms that watch me, and to be inspiring to you guys, and to make you feel like this is a safe place to come and watch and feel entertained, but then also feel relatable, and then to also feel heard and seen. And so yeah, for that, I am really sorry. That was something that I totally did on my own. My camera is literally at 1%, so I will be back in a sec. I'm gonna try to finish this up and charge her. My camera charged and I'm ready. I actually just pulled up to get some coffee, and then we're gonna head over to film 2 episodes for the podcast. Hi!
It's gonna be 14:54.
Awesome.
Here is the butterfly lemonade, and then that brought you down to 7:40.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I just...
Yes. You remember more than I do. Have a great day.
Thank you too. Let's try this. Hopefully it's Lay's today. It does. We just finished one episode and I changed out of this outfit into a new one. And I'm gonna change my makeup just to make it look different for the second episode. I'm gonna add a little wing to the edge of my eye. Let's do some freckles. Just a little bit different. I'm done with the podcast. I stayed in my second podcast outfit and I'm getting gas. We are headed to my doctor's appointment right now. I didn't talk about it on here, did I? But I've been having really bad pain in my ovaries and it's been like stopping me in my tracks. So I really want to get like a ultrasound. But I picked up a Quest soft and chewy protein cookie. I've never tried these before. Let's see. 15 grams of protein, 2 carbs, and 1 gram of sugar, and 240 calories. Sign me up. She's not great, but not bad. So, 15 grams of protein, that soy. It's 3:29. My appointment's at 4:30, so it's gonna take me an hour to get there, and I'll be there just literally right on time. So that's good. But just getting gas aesthetic. Okay, I went a little MIA when I got to my doctor's appointment because I was really focused on something was going to be wrong with me. The way that we landed on it possibly being my chia seed intake because I surprised my body with too much fiber at once. My doctor basically said that my fiber intake was probably already good and I was eating way too much fiber, and it backed me up and it made my large intestine, or the intestine where you poop out of, it made it backed up and irritated. So that's what we landed on before obviously the test and the blood work. But other than that, she said my urine was completely healthy. All my urine tests were negative, like protein and pregnancy. My pelvic exam was perfect. She checked my ovaries and they were perfectly fine. The pain isn't actually in my ovaries, it's on top of it. So it turns out that's where my bowel movements have come out of. And yeah, we kind of put 2 and 2 together because she asked me, did you add any supplements? Are you taking any vitamins? And I told her about my chia intake. She actually did ask if I was preparing my chia pudding correctly, which is letting your chia seeds soak because they do nothing for you except take all your water if you eat them raw. And I told her I did. I prepared it exactly how TikTok tells you to, and it was delicious, to be honest. But she said, stay away from chia seeds, drink a lot of water, and wait for your test results, wait for my call, and we'll go from there. So, drinking a lot of water, but it is 11 p.m. and yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are usually the days that we try to get the most quality time with Jonathan because obviously Wednesdays start his crazy work week, and so tomorrow starts our routine. And yeah, it just feels like I'm catching up with my besties. Honestly, I feel like I've been MIA obviously for so long and there's so much we need to catch up on. Please let me know what you want to see. Of course, after talking to you and letting you know that I want my content to feel relatable again and to be genuine and authentic about my life. I would love just any of your recommendations, and thank you if you decide to stick around. I appreciate you so much and I wouldn't be here without you. So I'm gonna start getting ready for bed. I'm gonna show you my sweet treat. It is a Jamaica hydration from Salud and my sleep gummies. These Let Me Sleep gummies have completely transformed my life. That's all I gotta say about them. 10 out of 10. would recommend, especially if you deal with insomnia or being a night owl or doom scrolling or just not being able to fall asleep fast and easy. 10 out of 10. I take them right before I start getting ready for bed. Take my makeup off, showering, and all the things. And by the time I lay in bed, I go to sleep fast. And of course, I just have to hydrate a lot. I have my water, and I'm ready for our routine to start back up tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. But until then, please always remember, God goes glowing and growing.